New Orleans, a journey through time. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine standing on the banks of the Mississippi River in the year 1763. There are no bright lights, no hotels, no jazz clubs, just a small settlement in the swamp. The air is heavy and damp. You can smell the earth and the cypress trees all around you. This was New Orleans, a tiny French outpost that had just been given to Spain. The people who lived here were struggling. Floods came often, disease was everywhere. But this little settlement would one day become one of America's most beloved cities. Today, we're going to walk through that history together. We'll use old drawings and maps to see what life was really like. We'll visit a city that was French, then Spanish, and finally American, a city unlike any other. If you enjoy this journey, please consider subscribing. We have many more stories to share. The early days. In the beginning, New Orleans was built from mud and hope. By the 1770s, the Spanish were in charge. They laid out the city in neat rows. Small wooden houses lined the streets. The roofs were steep, built in the French style. But these houses weren't made for Louisiana's terrible heat. The streets were often covered in mud. Wooden walkways rotted quickly in the moisture. And between the city and the mighty river stood only an earthen wall. That wall was all that protected the people from flooding. The heart of the city was a dusty square. Today we call it Jackson Square, but back then it was called the Place des Armes. Picture yourself there in 1780. Spanish soldiers in crisp uniforms march in formation despite the awful humidity. Nearby, enslaved people from the Caribbean islands sell fruits and spices. The first brick buildings are going up. The city is growing. Fire and rebirth. What we think of as Old New Orleans was actually born from disaster. On Good Friday in 1788, a terrible fire began. It started at one house and spread quickly.
Head to the docks.
The wind was strong that day.
The wind, I can't move.
In just a few hours, over 800 buildings burned to the ground. 6 years later, in 1794, another great fire swept through the city.
Stop it!
These two fires destroyed almost everything from the French period. All those wooden buildings were gone. When the city rebuilt, it was built the Spanish way. Thick brick walls, heavy doors with arches, beautiful courtyards inside the homes to catch the breeze. This is the New Orleans we recognize today. The St. Louis Cathedral was built during this time. So was the Cabildo, the government building. If you look at drawings from the 1790s, you'll notice something. There isn't much ironwork yet. The famous balconies were still simple wood. That decorative iron came later. The city felt different then, more like a Mediterranean town. The smell of fresh mortar and baked clay filled the air. Spain was making the city grand and, most importantly, fireproof. Becoming American. In 1803, everything changed. President Thomas Jefferson purchased Louisiana from France. With one agreement, this Catholic, French-speaking, Spanish-styled city became American. There was a ceremony in the main square. The French flag came down, the American flag went up. But the city itself didn't change overnight. New Orleans remained different. The new American governors were surprised by what they found. Here, people celebrated Sunday with dancing and card games, not quiet prayer. The language was French, the customs were foreign. A clear line formed down Canal Street. To the east lay the French Quarter, where the old families lived their traditional ways. To the west, Americans began building their own neighborhood. Brick warehouses went up. Greek-style townhouses appeared. Two different worlds, side by side.
Two distinct worlds separated only by
War comes to the city. During the War of 1812, New Orleans faced its greatest danger. The British were coming. Their army was large and well-trained. General Andrew Jackson gathered a mixed force to defend the city. There were regular soldiers, local militia, free men of color, and even pirates. The battle took place just down the river. The people in the French quarter waited anxiously. Would their city fall? But Jackson's army won a remarkable victory. The British were defeated, and something important happened. All the different groups in New Orleans had fought together as Americans. The city would never be quite the same. The Golden Age. After the war came prosperity. By the 1820s, steamboats crowded the riverfront, dozens of them with their tall stone stocks. The levee was a busy, noisy place. Men shouted in French, Spanish, and English. They were loading cotton onto ships bound for New York and England. Cotton was called white gold, and New Orleans was where it all came together. The 1830s were perhaps the grandest time. The St. Charles Hotel opened in 1837. It had a magnificent white dome. People said it was one of the most beautiful buildings in the world. Inside, the wealthy attended elegant balls and parties. But there was a dark side to this wealth. New Orleans was also a major center of the slave trade. On those same streets where luxury carriages passed, human beings were bought and sold. It was a city of beauty built on terrible cruelty. We must remember both truths.
It is merely the truth. The weather is perfect.
A city transformed. By 1840, New Orleans had become a great American city. The port stretched as far as the eye could see. New canals were dug, railroads were built. The city seemed to grow without limit. But danger lurked. Every summer, yellow fever swept through. Thousands died. The city's unique above-ground tombs filled the cemeteries. Life was fragile here. When we look at old pictures of the riverfront at sunset, we wonder, did the people then know how uncertain their future was? They were building on swampy ground in a dangerous climate, in a divided nation that would soon tear itself apart in civil war. Yet they built with such style, such determination, such soul. The New Orleans they created became unlike any other place on earth. Those streets, those buildings, those stories are still with us today. Thank you for taking this journey with me. If you have thoughts about which historical city we should visit next, please share them in the comments below. Until we meet again,